Hello, everybody, one and all. Welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Today we have a very exciting tarot card deck, I think, anyway. The Golden Girls Tarot card deck. That's what we will be using here. We have all the ladies, Rose, uh, Sophia, Dorothy, and Blanche here. So I thought what we would do, welcome everybody. First of all, I'm so excited I got straight into the Golden Girls. If you're brand new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome. For those of you who have been here for a little while, you know that we have the healing candle in the corner. So if there's anything that you want to release, go ahead and do that. Feel free to do that, or you can bring in golden abundance and beauty. This is dressed with beautiful magic oil that I made under the full moon with the eclipse. So we have that in every session. Every session is set up for healing, activation, knowledge support, anything that you need. So I thought today we have the usual three piles. And I thought what we would do is mix it up. I have no idea, as always, which pile has which lady. They have other characters in the Golden Girls too. So we will be doing messages from the Golden Girls. So we're just going to leave it open and see which sassy lady comes up and speaks to you. I remember when I did one of those silly Facebook, which Golden Girls are you? And I did a questionnaire and I ended up being 50-50, half Rose and half Sophia. And at the time I was like, I never would have chosen those two for myself. But when I thought about it, I was like, that's absolutely right. So if you feel like it and you know the show and you love the show, do drop us a line in the comments below and let us know which Golden Girl you think best suits your personality, which one you're most like. I think that would be really fun if you feel like it. Again, I think I'm half Rose, half Sophia, which is totally perfect. And I definitely would not have picked that for myself. I was very, very shocked when the results first came back. I had to think about it, but it's absolutely true. So we have the Golden Girls Tarot, of course, we'll be using, and then we have some oracle cards also coming in to give us some extra energy. So we're just going to leave it really open and see what these wonderful sassy lasses, what messages they have for us today. So honestly, the energy of the Golden Girls kind of speaks for itself. I actually watched a couple of episodes last night just to re-up my energy with them. So I didn't feel like we needed anything on top of each pile. So just so pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, they should have their own energy. That's kind of what I was feeling when I was setting up today. So as always, the timestamps will be down below if you feel as though you need to pause the video to concentrate and really align your energy so you get the most out of this reading. Of course, feel free to go ahead and do that and see which pile is pulling your energy forward. All right, let's go. So let's put pile 2 and pile 3 aside. So if you picked up pile 1, again, messages from the Golden Girls. So let's start. Oh my goodness, you have Blanche, Queen of Pentacles. Absolutely. And you have the Page of Swords. Absolutely. And then you have the 9 of Swords here with Sophia. So the first message that we're getting from these sassy lasses here on pile 1 is to remember that the past is completely the past. It cannot touch you, it cannot hurt you. Even though you have done so much work upon yourself and so much healing, and you've dove deep, is that right? You've gone deep in the healing. It's still, sometimes there's a little bit of a nervousness about moving forward because there's still a little bit of that, just for want of a better word, just to describe it clearly, a little bit of that PTSD of, oh my goodness, will this happen again? Will this happen again if I do this? Or if you move forward in one direction, as you move forward, something that came up in a past situation will come up and sort of hit you. What if this happens again? What if this happens again? So Our ladies are here to remind you that the past is past. So what we can do is a quick cord cutting for you. So as well as conjuring, and of course we're working with, the actual Golden Girls, Betty White. Who doesn't love Betty White? But the other three um, have since passed. So we have the energy of these beautiful ladies too, and also we're going to bring in the energies of the angels. So Archangel Michael, we're going to invite in, and if you want the cords to be cut now, just really take in a deep breath, and we're going to send your roots down and make sure that you're very, very grounded before we do this. But we can cut the cords to all of your past experiences, because the one thing that we can see from this is that everything that you have gone through, you've gone through. You've taken that wisdom, you've taken that beauty from all of everything, all of your experiences. You're not going to recreate them anymore. You're definitely in a new cycle. So it's totally fair enough, and it's totally understandable that as you move forward, it's a little bit confusing for you. Now, these are general messages, of course, but most of you who chose pile one, it's definitely feeling like wherever you're going is brand new. And while that is wonderful and exciting, it can also be a little scary at times. And as we move forward, we tend to pull in old experiences to kind of to pull in there, and to rely on, because that's all we really have. So you're being asked to be very brave right now. And as you move forward, and you realize this, if this is resonating with you as a pile one, then you absolutely realize that you are in a brand new era of your life. So the old no longer applies. And there's some of you out there that has been applying actual ways that you've done this in the past, to your present or to your future experiences, because the future is happening in the present, and they're not working, they're falling away. So it's totally understandable that you'd want to rely on something, but we're going to have Archangel Michael just cut the cords for you from your past. Now, all of the wisdom you've gone through the last couple of months, particularly the last 2 or 3 months, have been in these aha moments of, oh my goodness, I get why that happened now. I get why I was friends with that person. And even though you may have known on a very preliminary level before, the actual moment of, aha, it's all done, I get it now, I feel it, I can integrate that wisdom, has been happening over the last, 1 to 3 months for you in a really huge way. So you definitely feel as though you're on the plateau of something brand new. So when you're feeling a little shaky as you move forward, which is totally understandable because it's all brand new, you've got nothing to compare it to. When you bring in the old situations and say, what if this happens? What if that happens? It doesn't feel right. It's not going to go in that direction. Your mind's not really taking you in that spiral sort of fear. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And it's not holding you in that spirit, spear of fear. So you're still willing to move forward. But it is just a matter of not even having those thoughts anymore. So let's breathe deeply while Archangel Michael, with your permission, of course, this is all about you, and it's all about what you're ready to do and how you're ready to do it. If you feel as though you're ready and this applies to you and your intuition, always listen to your intuition. Your intuition is telling you yes. Then feel free to invite in Archangel Michael to cut the cords permanently from your past experiences, remembering that you've already taken in the wisdom. So it's absolutely fine to be able to do that. And what that will give you is this crystal clear, kind of beautiful feeling for the new sort of golden age of you. Now, everything is brand new, and that means that a lot of what you thought you wanted may have shifted somewhat. So for some of you who are thinking, okay, I don't really know how to move forward. I have an idea of what it is that I want to reach, what it is that I want to accomplish, but I don't know those baby steps yet. I really don't quite know how to get there because this is all brand new. You do have a wealth of knowledge, you do have a wealth of wisdom, and cutting all those cords completely to your past will lead you to these real tiny baby steps that may seem somewhat insignificant, or what we would say sort of small fry, I don't know, or small time, not really like huge steps in the right direction. But the advice that you're being given here is these small baby steps taken with clarity, and without any notion or any energy from from your past really kind of pull in this kinetic energy. So you know, 3 small baby steps can lead you into something absolutely beautiful, because these small baby steps right now are coming in for you, and what they're doing is they're aligning your energy in a very specific way. Now, everybody's energy from 2020, this is a timeless reading, but still, you know, that's placed at a particular time. We're coming into a brand new type of energy. Now, we knew that January was going to be a little bit shaky, baby, and that's okay. But 2020, I think it's fair enough to say that everybody was sort of all over the place, a little up, a little down, no matter where you were in the world. I think that's fair enough to say for most of you. But coming into this energy now, you're not going to have those ups and downs anymore. It's not going to be a linear moving completely forward. You're going to be taking tangents, and that's the best way for you to move forward, to take those tangents and to work on those little instincts. But by paving the way here and really clearing the way, your authority, your truth, and your beauty, the way in which you see things is a little bit different. You have this beautiful sort of researcher's mind. You take in lots of different information from lots of different sources, and then you'll come up with your own version of how to move forward. And the way in which you move forward is a little bit different to everybody else. And the world needs your point of view right now. So the wisdom that you have pulled in with the clarity that you will now be getting from cutting your past completely, and not allowing your energy to go into what if this happens again, what if this happens again, and really understanding that whatever happened in the past, when you may have taken seemingly identical steps to move forward, but actually they're not, because your energy is completely different. So it can't be the same energetic steps as you're taking. But as you're free to really move forward in the next couple of weeks, couple of days, couple of hours, instantaneously, you have this brand new sort of format out there for you to take and pull in and do whatever you want with it. Yes, it's brand new, and some of you are leaning to the past because, again, it's familiar. So we're asking you to be brave here. Most of you have a huge, I mean, all of you have a huge amount of courage, and you don't really give yourself that much credit for how much courage you have. You know, you'll say something like, so somebody will say, "Oh, you're really brave," and you'll be, "Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you for acknowledging that. But I had help and I did it." This idea that you had to do absolutely everything on your own, this complete independence, and that nobody can really align you with this understanding that you were completely brave and courageous because you did have a little help, this, that, and the other. There's still a little bit of that remnants. Probably, again, these are general readings, but probably you caught this from your family bloodline. If it's not your immediate family per se, then it's from the bloodline. It's like everything needs to be, yes, we do need to work for things. Absolutely, we do need to work for things. You know, to have an effortless life, we need to do the work in order to have this clear sort of line of responsibility, this clear line of thought, this clear relationship with the universe. Absolutely. But this idea that you have to do absolutely everything on your own, and everything has to be, you have to work so incredibly hard, and everything needs to be hard in order to accomplish what it is that you want. Because many of you want the world. You want everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have said in a couple of readings before that if you were one of those kids that thought you were going to be famous, or thought you were going to be well known, or thought you were going to do this and that, and you still have that thought this day, you're going to do that. Most kids have this idea of I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you know, and we go through these moments where we want to be seen, so we inflate it, right? So we say we want to be famous, but then we grow out of it as we grow. Now, you've done all of your growing here. You're in this brand new beginning. You've done all of your growing. So if you still have that instinct that you're going to be known for what you do, then you are. You've come here for big things. So this idea that you have to do so much more work in order to get there, so much more effort, absolutely not. You have the wisdom, you have the truth, you've been taking everything, and you've been sort of, now we're just going to do a little bit of real talk here. And we have the sassy lady, so I did get the word. I did get the word hoarding. You've been hoarding a lot of your beautiful wisdom, and some of that is not been hoarding. It's not that you didn't intend to bring it out for other people, but you've definitely been hoarding it so you can make sense of it. You can do whatever you need to do with it, and you can work with it first before you present it to the world. So yeah, the hoarding there, coming in from Sophia, that was her word. But now it's time for you to get out there and show the world who you are and your beautiful way of doing things. You have this great sense of humor. Some of you have a little bit of a dark sense of humor, which is absolutely needed, particularly in the world right now. But in general, and this beautiful way of seeing people and relaxing people and allowing people to be who they are. Many of you are amazing listeners, and that is not a small feat in this world. Most people don't listen, they talk over each other, or while somebody's like listening, they're trying to figure out what they're going to say next. It's all about the one up, the one up. I think most of the communication problems in the world is that people don't listen. So you're an excellent listener. In fact, you listen to people, you listen to what they're not telling you. And that's far more important than when they're actually telling you. So you have all of this, you have everything to move forward. If you are, even if this is resonating with you and you're in a different aspect of this, you're still in the, oh, woe is me, I'm still coming out of the old, moving into the brand new, or I'm still bringing up old stuff, or I'm still in these aha moments where you're still sort of almost replaying your life, not necessarily getting involved, but replaying it so you can really sort of pull out that wisdom, and that truth from that situation so you can cut the cords once and for all. So if you're in that part of it, please don't despair. We absolutely promise you that you will come to this new sense of, ah, that's wonderful. This is brand new. I'm a little bit nervous, but that's okay. I have the wisdom, baby steps. I'm connected to the universe in this new sort of new clarity that you have. And these new bright, brilliant ideas that you have might take you off in a new direction. And, if you're being given these ideas, trust me, you're able to implement them in really beautiful ways that you wouldn't have been before. You think outside of the box, and you've often not seen yourself as a participant really in the world. You do it on your own terms, but you also, people see what they want to see in you, and you've had a little bit of control over that. You have that secretive sort of mysterious quality to you, which is absolutely beautiful. But you have this now because you absolutely know who you are. So when you present yourself to the world, you can really choose what aspect you want to present. You really have this sort of, some of you may actually be actors, but there's an actor sort of dramatic sense to you too. You know what I'm talking about, Power One. But that's that beautiful sense that you can really hone in on and integrate into what it is that you're going to do in the world, whether you're going to be a teacher, whether you're integrating within your art, whether you're going to be a public speaker. All of these things are in your future. And there are a lot of you that are either spoken word, either poets, or speaking with language. So some of you could actually be actors or being thinking about going back into acting. I know right now we're slowly trying to figure out what's going on right now. So I mean, the world has definitely changed as we know it for good, and that's a good thing. But actors are still acting, and there'll be a way to get back in there. But the way in which your mind works, it's very original. You might find a way to actually work in that filmmaking, that acting yourself, do it on your own terms, and bring it in a slightly different way, so you don't have to wait. This is really what this is saying to you. The time is now, the essence is now. Don't wait for anything. Go out there and do it yourself. Absolutely. And this ease that's coming in for you will absolutely be coming in for you once you clear the way. Now, if these old, let's see, I also, while I'm going to be bringing in the true love reading cards too. shuffling these oracle cards as we talk about these beautiful cards. So again, if these, if you've cleared your past and you've had these aha moments, and then as you move forward, the moment of uncertainty leads you to cling on a little bit onto, well, I've been this route before and this happened. Remember, just, it's not a real thought. Your mind is trying to go back to the familiar. So just thank your ego for reminding you of what happened before. But you are in a brand new age, so don't take on that energy. Just go outside, breathe, get that vitamin D, and let it go. There's nothing for you to go down that rabbit hole to heal, to go back into that old situation. Is there anything I missed? There's nothing that you missed. It's just replaying the old. So if you're in that stage, just move through it. Don't even worry about it. The fact that you're at that stage is really healthy, because it's letting you know that you're so into this brand new version of who you are. You're so brand new that your mind is so confused it wants to go back to the old to bring up something familiar. So that's brilliant, but we don't need to go there anymore. Just let it go. None of these are really attached to you anyway. Remind yourself, your mantra is, I really am at my brand new beginning. A lot of you have had a lot of these, what we call not really false starts, but a lot of these new beginnings. And you've had a lot of healing over the particularly the last 8 or 9 months, but for most of you 18 months to 2 years. A lot of these aha moments and a lot of these ascension. You've moved into this ascension, and then everything's been like really, really bright, and then it feels like it levels off, and then you're like, now what? You've had a couple of those. So trust this one. This one is at your new plateau where you get to move, because as you ascended before, you reached this new sort of frequency, and then it plateaued, and there was something else that you needed to release and something else that you needed to release. But this is like the primal release of everything gone, and this is your brand new beginning, moving in every single way again, in these tangents. But in the tangents, you're going to have so much fun. So refamiliarize yourself with what it is that you want. Hold it very clearly in your mind. You can create it when you know what it looks like and what it feels like. And for those of you who are a little bit confused, because you're like, I know ultimately what I want, but I don't, all of it's changed. So I don't really know. Just feel as though, click into the person that you will be when you achieve what it is that you want, and hold that in your spirit, hold that in your body. The universe actually knows exactly what it is that you want. And some of the things that you've asked for are not quite for you, because the universe wants more for you. So trust that the universe is going to choose properly for you, but really embody the energy of the person that you will become when you have it, if you're confused about the specifics of what you want now, and leave that up to the universe. And now with this clear connection of this brand new, and again, Archangel Michael, if you're ready, call on him either in this session, you can replay it if you want, come back to it, or on your own, to cut the cords to your past completely if you've had those aha moments already. So let's see what we have here. Chivalry, wonderful. And I'm going to choose one more here too. Boundaries, absolutely. These are two things that you've had to learn for yourself. Boundaries, that's not been an easy one for you. And you've really had to learn them, you've had to learn them the hard way sometimes. You've had to learn them when you've been taught them sometimes because other people have done those boundaries for you. And then you're like, are you kidding me? I was the one that should have done this to you 3 years ago. And I mean, the way in which you come around the energy of boundaries, but you've got that sorted now. And you do understand. Now, for those of you who are like, yeah, I definitely know what I'm doing with boundaries. I've got my boundaries so fixed that, I've got my boundaries so set that I really don't have anybody in my life right now. Again, brand new, you're at zero, you're at the Fool, which means you have all the energy, all the knowledge that you need to move forward in the way that you want. So that is absolutely wonderful. And with the Chivalry card here, we're getting two meanings because this is a general reading. Definitely feeling like for those of you for love, there's new love coming in. Somebody who actually matches your frequency. Not anybody that you need to fix yet, pal one. Definitely talking to you. Always want to fix people or make sure that they're okay. You're the sort of person who would give your arm to somebody and not think twice about it. you know, that bordering on that martyr kind of energy. But again, that's the boundaries. You've had to have boundaries with yourself sometimes. You've had to put the boundaries on yourself so you don't give too much of yourself away. This energy is coming in, this energy of chivalry, again, very specifically somebody who matches your frequency. And the other side of this, which is very exciting, a melding of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within self. This absolute balance. We need that masculine side for that action and that passion to move us forward. And that's somebody that you are action passionate when the time is right for you. But also, you know, the masculine side of us is our ego, the one that tells us to doubt. Oh, it's not happening quick enough. I don't know what's going on. Da, 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 da. That's the other side of it too. So the chivalry card is definitely showing that that balance of the divine masculine, the divine feminine is working beautifully. It's gone from showing you, you know, all this negative stuff and pulling you into like old versions of self. And now it's like it's being used the way that it needs to be used in this action, in this passion, working beautifully on par, in balance with the divine feminine, which is that receptive energy, that beautiful intuition, letting you know which way to move forward. And then this divine masculine, let's go. This is our direction. Let's do it. And this is something that's relatively new for you. Again, the masculine sense of you has sometimes gone against you. You've either turned it against yourself, where you've gone blindly down this one road like a horse, like, you know, galloping down this road only to find that you didn't really want to be there. Or you've used it in a way to project this self-doubt and put yourself into this position where you've talked yourself out of things. But this beautiful masculine and feminine coming in this gorgeous energy, which is just naturally come into this balance. Before, you were working so hard to balance your life, and all you needed to do, and this is what you've learned, all you needed to do is accept yourself at a core level, release what no longer serves, integrate all that wisdom, and it came into balance by itself, right? So that's very exciting to be able to use that masculine sensibility the way that, in a very united, powerful way. Now we're gonna, this one is the super attractor card. So let's pull one of these for you as a message from the universe and our sassy ladies too. Let's see what we have here for this one. As soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners, I redirect my power toward what I want. Absolutely, that's what we've been saying. Going back to the old, not too much, but redirecting the light of the old, objectively looking back and going, oh, that was my wisdom. That was my nugget of wisdom. Wonderful. Let me integrate that knowledge. Let me cut off those cords. We are done. I can say sayonara. I'm absolutely out of here. And I can take that light with me to move into the future and see where I want to go with that nugget of wisdom. So that's wonderful. And you are in that. This is just letting us know, and just as a confirmation, you're absolutely in that. You're absolutely, to what degree you are, it might be slightly different for Power One, for all of you Power Ones, but you're definitely doing that work already. And let's do the heart chakra too. I'm going to pull one more here for the old heart, it's chakra love, sorry, heart chakra. So it's chakra love. This is what we're doing. Passion, yes. Sacral chakra here, passion. Turn your fear of change into excitement for change. Absolutely. Now, the excitement for change is wonderful. The change is already happening. It's coming in. You can feel it. It's coming in like a friggin' freight train. You can't stop it. So yeah, turn that fear into excitement. And again, you're working with this beautiful energy of the masculine. So that passion is not going to be turned inward anymore and turned against you. Allow that passion out. See where you go. Venture out. If you're not physically out completely in the world that you want to, venture out wherever you can in your mind. There's so many things that you can do to bring your voice out there without having to wait for an external party to help you to put yourself out there. You have absolutely got this. This is wonderful. The way in which you're using it, very passionate, very beautiful. This energy is raw and ready to go. And the way in which you're using your passion is brand new. It's exciting. Enjoy it. Absolutely. So that's what we have for you, Pile One. Sincerely hope it resonated with you. And do not forget to let us know which Golden Girl has your heart and soul. Which Golden Girl is the one for you? Or maybe you're like me, a combination of both. We would love to hear you down in the comments. So if this resonated with you too, feel free to give us a thumbs up and let us know down in the comments. And of course, come and subscribe and hit that bell icon. We have fabulous fun here at Unicorn Light Tarot, and we'd love to have you if you're not here already. And do not forget, we have many different ways to work with support and energy. We have the Unicorn School of Light. We have we have a course that's free, Beyond Fear. Feel free to check that out. And of course, you can work with the unicorn for 21 days. Who wouldn't want to bring back that magic? And we also have other things on the channel too. Unicorn therapy with meditations and activations, and intuition and the oracle. It's not just learning to work with the oracle cards. It's setting up some time for your divine feminine and that beautiful intuition for you. So that's all free on Unicorn Light Tarot. Many reasons to come join us here in our little part on the internet. So from us here and the Golden Girls, sending you so much love and light. Pile One. Until we meet again, stay safe and sane. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome Pile Two. Let us not forget that we are gathering messages from the Golden Girls today. Very exciting. We have 3 of your tarot cards here. And let's not forget that we also have our beautiful healing candle here for activation and healing. You can also look into the flame and release what no longer serves you. So let's get right in to our reading here. And we're just going to messages from the Golden Girls. So 2 of Swords with Dorothy here is your first card. Then we have the 3 of Swords here. And then we have the Queen of Wands here. So the first thing that I'm getting is, some of you may need to make a decision. Some of you may need to do the last thing. You're in a sort of a healing realm where there's certain things that need to be done, certain people that need to be cut out, certain things, behaviors that no longer work. You're all aware of this. It's just a matter of doing it and how to go about it. For some of you, there may be a legit sort of decision where do I need this person in my life? Or do I need to cut them off? Or can I cut them off sort of spiritually and then just see where it goes? Do they, are they still in my life? There's some decisions that need to be made. Now, for some of you, it's just a matter of you taking control and saying, all right, to me, they're done. I'm cutting the cords. I'm cutting the ties between us now. But there's no real reason for me to call them up and to make it known for them. For some of you, it's just a matter of they've already sort of gone. But for you to really gain the wisdom from the experience of knowing them, there needs to be this sort of physical cut. I'm done with something. Now, it could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be a sort of a situation that keeps coming up and repeating itself in different cycles through people, through situations. It's a level of behavior that you're being asked to look at. It's something that's being asked for you to say, I'm done with it, I'm done. Now, it wouldn't come up for you to be asked to cut it out or to cut cords with it if you weren't ready to move on and gather the wisdom and move on now. This person, this situation, this type of behavior, whatever it is, it could be an amalgam of all of it. This person brings up a type of behavior for you, or brings up sort of old wounds or something. It could be an amalgam of all of it that no longer serves you. Now, for some of you, the situation could have already passed. These people are no longer really in your life, but you're still going back over it. And there's remnants of what it is that you're supposed to learn that's showing up in different aspects of your life. So by going back to that specific person, not not actually to that person, but that specific person in that situation, and working with your guides and your angels to cut those cords completely, and really working with your guides and angels and saying, let's integrate fully what I was supposed to learn, my lesson from that, so I can completely release myself from this situation. Then everything around you, all the situations around you change and shift. Again, you are ready to release these people, these behaviors, this habit. Whatever it is, these people in these situations kept you small. Whether they realized they were doing it or not, some of them may have realized there could have been an aspect of sort of manipulation, but not everybody did realize. But it was really important to them to feel as though they were slightly better than you, or they had a better handle on life than you did. And the reason why we're doing this is because you have an empath emotionality. That's how you show who you are, this beautiful emotionality. So it's not that they used it against you to your face, but they may have convinced themselves one way or another that they're doing better in the world because of their better grasp on emotionality. And of course, all they were doing is shutting it out, right? So one way or another, these situations, these people somewhat looked down on you, and that could have been really obvious, or it may not have been obvious. It could have been quite passive, and in that way, you sort of picked up more on the energy. Now, that's a little bit more, not dangerous, but it's a little bit more insidious when it's sort of hinted at, but you're not quite sure. It's not head-on, so you can't deal with it. You're not exactly sure, and then you start turning it back on yourself by doubting yourself. Oh my goodness, maybe I'm making this up. Maybe I'm seeing this more than it is. They already said I'm emotional. I see things with, and all of that. You weren't making it up. And whether they were aware that they were doing this or not, again, we want to be very clear. The situations that you were in and the people that you were in and around were not working with their emotionality. They weren't fully integrated. So they may not have known what they were doing. They may not have been aware. Some of them may have been very aware, but most of them weren't aware of what they were doing. So if you tried to bring it up, and some of you may have tried to bring it up with them so you could heal, talk about it, move forward, it wouldn't have been possible on their end. They wouldn't have seen it. And even if they believed you, they wouldn't have been ready to work on it. So this is really about you figuring out your boundaries. And again, we're not suggesting at all, under any shape or circumstances, to bring up the past and go grab these people or call them up. And, if they're already out of your life, I said I'm done and this, that, and the other, because you'll be accused of being overly dramatic again, right? No, absolutely not. This is for you to work with your guides and angels and to do this on your own part. A lot of people don't realize that, all you need to do is have your energy in place. Once you cut everything off from the core, from where you are sitting, I'm done, I'm cutting the cords here, I am done, the whole situation changes. It is not needed for the other person to participate, absolutely. And they may feel that change. And some of them might even try to come back into your life one way or another. Now, for some of them, if they go off and work on themselves and you come back under a different kind of contract, another soul contract, that happens. I'm all for, having boundaries, but, there's certain people in my life that have come back when I thought we would never be friends again, and we've got a wonderful relationship. And there's some people that I still don't really let back into my life because the energy hasn't changed. You can figure that out if the energy is shifted and you come back with each other in each other's lives and you have a new soul contract. That could be a really redeeming, beautiful, healing experience for you. But only you will know if something has changed. Obviously, don't invite it back. Or if somebody comes back into your life trying to edge their way in and it's still the same energy, then, you're going back. You're going backwards. But that's neither here nor there for you, because that's not really going to happen. If they do come back, you'll be able to sense immediately, because you're very empathic, you're very sensitive. And, believe it or not, and we're just going to say it, a lot of them might be quite jealous of how in touch you are with your emotionality. They would never say it. But, in order to survive in this world before, with our social norms, it was advisable to really push that down in order to survive. And that's what they were doing. You wanted to do that, but you weren't able to do that as successfully for most of you. So you didn't really have the choice not to be emotional one way or another. And for some of you, you could have dumbed down some of that anger, a lot of that emotion, but it came up at ripe times and kind of hit you in the arse, right? So, you didn't have the luxury of being able to dumb it down. And even if you did dumb it down, there would have been some kind of situation in your life where it just something happened and then Pandora's box was open. That was it. You couldn't put the lid back on. So you weren't able to do it consistently all the way through. So you didn't have that option really. So they may think that you're brave. They may not tell you, or maybe they will tell you when your soul contract, if the soul contract comes back in, and you're back in each other's lives, and that shifts, and that grows. But the way in which they were, you may have tried to model yourself on because, oh, they're working and integrating themselves into the world so much better than I do. But actually, the way in which you were working on things, even though you thought and you believed your mind and your life was a lot more messy and it didn't feel like you were having quite the successes that they were having, you were working on much more of a spiritual realm. But that actually is going to give you the edge, and you're at the point where you're going to seek out that edge and you're going to see that edge. So it's really up to you how you do this. Now, again, most of these situations have already left, so it's just a matter of you working with your guides and cutting them out once and for all, and having that mindset of, all right, it's over now, it's done, I don't need to tell anybody, I'm doing this on my side. If you're like, well, it's already done, there's no point in really cutting them off. Sometimes it's really nice to have your energy in this really sort of firm new beginning. And the way to do that is to say, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to call them up and tell them, out of I haven't seen you in 6 months, we're no longer friends. I'm not going to do that. And if they get in touch, I'll certainly get in touch with them and be polite, but I don't intend to be around them. I don't intend to sort of work on our relationship. I don't intend to integrate them back into my life. But sometimes it's really nice to have those boundaries and say to your guides, all right, I'm ready to mentally, physically cut those cords completely. I'm not going to let them know I'm doing it on my side. I'm pulling my power back. And that's the other thing. You can pull your power back from all of these situations, from all of these people when you do that. Ask your guides to come in, pull the power back, any of the power that you may have given away, or any of the power that they took from you, lent from you. They thought they were borrowing from you, but actually they weren't. They were taking the power. Again, we're not being judgmental. None of these people may have known what they were doing. And even if they did, they're still not bad people. They're doing the best that they can. We're not here to judge. But we are here to give you the reading and support you. That's what we're doing. So it's really important for you to understand where your energy goes, how it's being leaked out, how people have been using it. And if you feel as though those boundaries need to be reinforced again, cut those cords, and let it go for your own safety and sake, then go ahead and do that. What that gives you is this new plateau of this beautiful understanding of who you are, and bringing in all aspects of self that you were never really allowed to be around them anyway. There was certain areas or aspects of your personality that was sort of allowed, but you never really felt 100% comfortable around them anyway. You always felt like you had to kind of keep just a little bit of yourself, just a little bit protected, just in case, even though some of you, even though in some situations you may have convinced yourself, if I did have a mental breakdown or did something happen, they would be fine. But, think to that. You never allowed yourself to really break down in front of them. You never really felt it was that safe. So, I mean, part of this is learning to be safe with yourself and learning who to trust and having the right energy around you. And that's something that's going to be happening for you coming in the next, 4 to 8 weeks. New energy is going to be coming in and around you. People who actually suit where you are, where you don't have to dumb down an aspect of who you are. People who actually revere you for the beauty of who you are. Yeah, a lot of that is emotionality. Absolutely. So bringing in all aspects of your power that you may have given away before, integrating that fully into this gorgeous wisdom that you have, and being really fully accepting of who you are in every moment of your life. You were just looking to be accepted. You were just looking for some love. That little child in you just wanted to be seen. So you often dumbed yourself down in situations And some of them could have been quite dramatic situations, because for some of you, this is a general reading, but for those of you who atone to this or this applies to you, you were grown up in and around some kind of drama. So when you were around dramatic people, it felt very comfortable for you, right? So you naturally gravitated toward them. But dramatic people often don't actually really work on the heart of what's going on. They blow it out of proportion. They do this, that, and the other. So you really mirrored where you came from that may have felt comfortable at one level, but also made you feel very uncomfortable. And an aspect of you, it made you want to shut down because you realized that you needed to protect yourself. It reminded you of what you came out of. That could have been childhood circumstances or the people that you had around you when you were younger or in a certain situation. So this is really about having new people around you, new beautiful people who match your frequency, who see the totality of you and celebrate you and all of that. You have this beautiful, gorgeous energy of this real childlike naivety, definitely the rose energy in here. And the Dorothy energy is like, cut off, do whatever you need to do. Sophia too. But this is Rose energy of being who you want. But people could have taken advantage of that in the past, of that naivety and that beauty. And then you were, you shut it down and wanted to just sort of put it in a little box and took it out whenever you could or whenever it felt safe. These are aspects of yourself that you can fully integrate back in and have that naivety back into your beautiful personality and let that inner child sort of run rampant. You've been protecting that inner child. But you do have that sassiness, that passion, that beauty also. So all of these aspects can come in and be a part very much of your personality and don't have to be dumbed down to fit into different aspects of people, so you don't offend them or you don't shine too brightly, so you dull them. So people were very aware of how brightly you shone one way or another, even if you didn't realize it. So some people could have wanted to sort of quote unquote take you down a peg or two, even though it wasn't needed at all. And it was purely working on the other person's ego. Again, not judging. We're just pointing out these situations so you can move and heal from them. But you're definitely at that point now of seeing and sort of like almost ticking off, that person stays, that person goes, or I thought I was going to cut that person out completely. And I did. I work with my guides, but I'm not going to cut them out of my life. If they come in and say, hi, how are you? I'm going to be pleasant, but I'm not going any further. This person I never want to get back to. And that's okay, even if it feels weird to you to be that sort of systematic because you want to be that open. Remind yourself that you're doing this to collect your energy, reintegrate your power so you can become completely open again. And then you don't have to, have quite these barriers right now. You don't have to be living from these barriers. These are just sort of a protective mode right now as you move from one stage of your life to your next. Definitely a new beginning. So we are working here with the true, wait, what is it? True love reading card. So let's get some, but definitely this beautiful energy of Rose coming in here. Totally feel it. Let her come out and play. It's really, really beautiful. And when you do, it's just, it's a gorgeous aspect of your personality. Luminosity, absolutely. That's where you're at. That's what you're going to gain from this luminosity. Now, you had luminosity before. We don't want to say that you didn't, but you dulled yourself in order again to fit in. And you didn't let your freaky flag fly as much as you wanted to. And you can now, that luminosity and that self-acceptance and all of these boundaries now that you're definitely putting up for now. Again, you're doing this so you don't have to have them in the future, and you won't need them. You'll instinctively know who to stay away from, and that you won't even need to go down those roads anymore. But it's just a matter of having them now so you can, again, pull back that power and really allow this luminosity to dial it up. Dial it up. You've never really let yourself sort of be seen and let that luminosity dial up. You're the sort of person that, if somebody gives you a compliment, you'll be like, oh, thank you. But you'll think of like 3 other things that are not so great. Oh, you got nice eyes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have this beautiful eyeliner that I use. That sort of thing. Really just allow this luminosity get out there and just be a part of your personality and enjoy it, flirt with it. Serendipity, absolutely, for you to get back into who you are and this effortless understanding of who you are. And this is what this is too, our beautiful Sophia here. Having your connection to your own power, having connection with nature, not just with animals, but with everyone around you. Again, walking into a room, understanding the needs of everyone and being able to help everybody without giving away your energy, without having that martyrdom. I want to do the work for you. Standing in your own ground, in your own power, having this sort of magical ability, this innate ability to be able to help people by listening and healing, by just being yourself. And this throne of just having that power that's you, that doesn't, you could be ungrounded in certain situations that you felt like, oh, I've got to hide myself. This is all subconscious, but I've got to hide myself here. I've got to do this. I've got to dumb that down now. So I'm not fully myself. I'm not fully integrated. So you weren't fully in your body. You weren't fully grounded. Some of you could have suffered from social anxiety because of this. This can all dissipate when you fully know who you are. When you walk into the room, the energy of the room changes based on who you are, not the other way around. Because 9 times out of 10 will tell you, pal, too, you're the most powerful person in that room, wherever you're going. So now it's time to dial up that luminosity. It's time to dial up and pull back that power. And then this effortless, beautiful life of seeing what you're really, truly capable of. If you're not putting yourself in a box of what you think you can achieve, getting out there and doing what it is that you truly want. These new doors opening up for you. This new age of legacy for you to see what you can accomplish. Almost like, all right, universe, what have you got for me today? What can I do today? Just kind of working with the universe and seeing where it goes. This real new sort of brand new life of just seeing where everything goes, this like let go, this surrender, this release. But in that, you get these beautiful, gorgeous gifts that come to you. So instead of trying to, again, in pure alignment, not trying to control anything, which is totally understandable considering what you've gone through in order to control. You kind of had to. You had those people around you. So we've got here the super attractor card here. So let's go ahead and pull one for you here for some extra advice, not just from the sassy ladies, but extra advice from the universe here. What have we got? I trust that my powerful intentions combined with my faith are enough to allow my vision to become my reality. Absolutely. Powerful intentions combined with my faith are enough to allow my vision to become reality. Your vision is becoming reality, and trusting yourself and trusting your guides and trusting your full acceptance of self, pulling back your power, will definitely allow for a new alignment and a new vision of what your life and world could look like. And to really understand that we all know in an intrinsic level that we create our own reality. But when you say that, it just sounds woo-woo, but how do you shift it? How do you change it? Everybody knows we create our own reality, but actually having that knowledge, being able to use that power to bring and wield in what it is that you want by being in complete alignment and working with this beautiful way with the universe. This is what you're coming into. Have faith in that. And again, you are enough. You're absolutely enough. Coming back into pulling back your power, grounding that power into the world, not dumbing yourself down anymore under any circumstances. And once this is at the core of who you are, you have got this. New world, new doors open up to you, new sense of reality. So we also have the chakra love. Let's finish up this beautiful reading with one more chakra love here. So this one's calling to us. What's it say? Out of chaos comes creation. Absolutely. Chakra balance. Balancing all of your energy, particularly the first and second chakra. Real healing of that pile too. You've really been healing all of that. Your self-worth, feeling safe in the world, full acceptance of who you are. The beauty, beautiful within and internal and out and external. Out of chaos comes creation. Yes, this chaotic energy. I'm sorry, my cat is not elegant at all, and she just tried to get up on the table, and it was, let's just say again, no judgment, but it wasn't a success. So I apologize for that. Out of chaos comes creation, and that's exactly who you are, coming out of that. If we can call it chaos, you come out of that chaos. What you're doing, you've already come out of that chaos. What you're doing is you're making sense of all that chaos, and you're saying, take that energy back. I'm going to pull this back to me. This is mine. That's yours. Take it back. We're all good. This is who I am. Accept me how I am. And then from that, as we've said all the way through, this creates new creation, effortless life. And the way in which you'll be working will be different. So when we say effortless, obviously you need to be in tune, you need to be in line, but that will be that'll be different, and you'll be working differently, and of course creating your own reality, the reality that you want. You've often created realities where you're stuck with stuff, and it's almost like you're the one standing there holding everything when everybody else is fecked off, right? So creating your reality where you're the one getting all the light, all the praise, all the beauty. And, and that's not coming from your ego. You deserve all of this. You are successful. You are beautiful. It's time that that is shown up in the world. So this is a wonderful serendipity too. Coming out in this comes creation, serendipity, luminosity, all of that. Now we want to remind you that you're already this. You're just shedding so you can be seen clearer. That's all. Don't forget, self-love really comes from self-appreciation and full self-acceptance. From there, we can see everybody the way that they are and give them compassion no matter where they come from, no matter what they, what school of thought they come from. We can give them compassion. We can honor who they are. We don't have to get involved in the energy if we don't want to, but we can have a lot of compassion and love for others, and that's how we pull in true self-love for ourselves. It often happens while we're putting out our love for others out in the world, but we can't truly do that until we fully accept who we are. So that's where you're at. Just a tweak in perception. All of this should be happening for you anyway, in this sort of effortless motion. It's already in motion. We're just here as a reading, just to remind you and to secure what it is that you already know, which is really what tarot is anyway. Tarot only really ever tells you what you already know. So at least a good tarot reading is. So that's what we have for you, pile 2. We sincerely hope this resonated with you. If it did, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. And of course, let us know which Golden Girls or combination of the Golden Girls that you believe that you are. And don't forget to hit that bell icon and subscribe if you would like to. We would love to have you here at Unicorn Light Tarot, because we have so much going on. There's so many different things to do here. We have the Unicorn School of Light. You can have a free course with Beyond Fear. That's down there. More courses in the future, of course. And we have our 21-day Magical Unicorn course, which is truly magical. And of course, we have here on the beautiful channel, totally for free, we have Unicorn Therapy, working with activation and meditations all the way through your chakras. And we have Intuition and the Oracle. It's not just for Oracle reading. It's for giving yourself some space to be with your divine feminine, your intuition. It's a 5-day course, completely free. So come join us and come take those courses if your intuition tells you you need it, or you want it, or you just want to check it out. We'd love to have you. All right, my darlings, so excited for you. Until we meet again, pile 2, stay safe and sane. Okay, my beautiful pile 3s. If you chose pile 3, welcome. Do not forget, we have our beautiful healing candle here. If you want to release anything that no longer, or anyone, any situation that no longer serves you, feel free to do that in the flame, or you can bring in energy, abundance, manifestation any way you want to use the healing candle. So again, we have our messages from the Golden Girls Tarot. We've got 3 here, and then we'll be working with Oracle. So let's see what these sassy ladies have for you today. King of Cups. Oh my goodness, I love that. I don't know if anybody actually, if you do, this is Miles. This is the love interest of Rose. He is the King of Cups here. That is your first card. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Gorgeousness here with our beautiful Dorothy. And then we have the 5 of Cups here. I believe that is Rose. Yes, that is Rose. Okay, so let's put these here because that makes a little bit more sense. So it's really, and we always say, when we read, it's collective energy that we're reading with what's going on in the cosmos too, even though these are completely timeless readings. And there's always sort of a thread, or an understanding, somewhat similarities in each of the piles. At least it's felt like that in the last couple of readings, and these readings are feeling exactly the same way, although very distinctive energies in each pile. But it's really about not just coming back into yourself, but really understanding, of, again, what it is that you've been through and how to take these experiences. Now, for you, pile three, there was a very, 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 um, and we often say this, so it's not going to be woo woo, but bear with us. Every situation that you've been through, there's a nugget of wisdom. There's a lesson that that needs to be incorporated. We know this sounds a little bit woo woo, and sometimes it's like, oh no, I know, but still. But for you specifically, there's extra information in there for you, because for you, there was the energy of what it is that you've been through is really important for you. You held yourself in that space to really understand it. Now, you're definitely here to be able to understand all types of people, where it is that they've come from, and to hold a space for profound healing for them. So we want to remind you that every situation that you've been in, now, a lot of these situations that you've been in, pile three, you're being a little bit hard on yourself. When we understand why, we'll explain it to you. We'll explain what you already know, right? You often held yourself in situations where most people would have walked away ages and ages and ages ago, but you held that space open. Now, at the time, you may have thought, maybe it'll change, maybe this person will change this, and all different things that you may have thought, and all of that is perfectly reasonable. And we can say here, and I can say from my own life, so many things can happen. I absolutely believe that people can do a 180 and change their lives and do it. I absolutely believe it. So you holding out for a hero for somebody, this person could change. I've seen it change. I've seen people turn around and change their lives and get better and do extraordinary things in seemingly a small amount of time. Obviously, behind closed doors, a lot of work, a lot of courage went into that. But I know it's absolutely true. I've felt it. So it's totally understandable for you to have spent more time and more energy in certain situations in order for you to stay in situations far longer than most people would. So you're looking back on your life. Some of you are looking back on your life, again, general reading, if this pertains to you, looking back on your life and being a little bit hard on yourself. Why didn't I cut myself? Why didn't I have these boundaries here? Why didn't I? Well, we can tell you why. It was important for you to keep in and not only learn how to do but those boundaries, you were going to learn how to figure out those boundaries. You were always going to learn how to do that. That's no problem. We're not worried about that with you. When you cut somebody off, it might take you a while, but when you get there, oh, buddy boy, you're done. That's it. You're done. You're actually very capable of doing it. You've always been very capable of having those boundaries, but you know in your heart of hearts that when you cut somebody off, you're done. So you tend not to want to do it that often. However, if people really do change, you have that open heart and you're willing to bring them back. But again, that doesn't happen that often. So, part of you really wanted to keep that space because, when I'm done, I'm done. You ain't playing. So that's one of the reasons why you didn't cut people off as quickly as you did. But the other situation, and this is the most important thing here, pile three, the reason why you didn't cut people off as quickly as you could is because you wanted to stay in that situation to really understand everything you could from that situation, to really understand the energy of that person. You really allowed yourself to immerse yourself in other people's sort of energy. Now, that energy could have been dark. It could have been, in some ways, it could have had addiction. It could have, it doesn't matter what it had. There's a whole scale and spectrum of what you allowed your energy to go in and experience at full throttle, we say, right? That you did not shy away from it. And because you are able to do that, you're able to see and understand all aspects of all people and see them for what they are. Even if you've never been through that exact thing that they've gone through, you can actually hold space for them to be able to see themselves in that mirror of light, and therefore have this kind of compassionate aid that you will become. And this is something that you wanted to become in this lifetime. You've been working up to this in many different lifetimes, and you're definitely capable of it. But in order for you to do this and really understand it, you had to go through all of these situations. And again, sometimes when most people would have walked away, you had to stay there in order to understand more, in order to push yourself more. Now, you don't need to do that anymore. This is all the past. You've done this. You're now at this point where you have this sort of this beautiful soul that you just allow people to be who they are. You're no longer filtering your experience onto other people's experiences. So you don't, everybody gets to have their own experience with you. You don't have to filter what it is that you've been through. Onto and project that onto somebody else's experience. And let me tell you how rare that is. It is extremely rare. People often want to understand other people from their own egos. It's like, you've been through, but I've been through this, and that's the same as that's. Well, it's not the same. Everybody has their own version of it, and some people really have suffered more than others. It doesn't mean at all that your experience of suffering is any less or more than anybody else's. But it really does mean that everything that you've been through, you can hold space for everybody's lesions, everybody's wounds, everything that they've ever been through. You can hold space for them and see them in the light that they are without having to project any of you onto that anymore, because you understand the darkness in all different kinds of people and all different kinds of situations. That's why you put yourself there and stayed there, just to sort of see how it played out in every single situation. Now, again, we want to reiterate, we want to remind you, this is not how you're playing the game anymore. You're not doing this anymore. But the reason why it's coming up is because you're looking back and you're being hard on yourself. My goodness, pal 3, you're always hard on yourself anyway. It's almost like if you're not hard on yourself, then you're not motivated to move forward. It's almost like you've used fear in a way, and you've used the harshness to really motivate yourself to move forward. Not good enough, da 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 da. You know, maybe that works in the army, okay? And again, no judgment, never been in the army. My husband was in the Marines probably for about 2 weeks. But anyway, it was his choice to leave. If you meet him, he's definitely not a Marine kind of guy. But I have a lot of respect for Marines, and that kind of energy, that kind of, it's just needed. You're going out to war, you're doing this, it's absolutely needed. That level of discipline, and that level of discipline is very rare in the world. It's in that way I have a lot of respect. It's absolutely gorgeous. But you know, you're not going to war. You're not. And you've almost lived your life as if you were a Marine, as if you were going to war. Now, those gentlemen, women, those folks who are going to war need to be trained in that way. That's really important for them. It will save their lives. It will save the lives of other people going out. That's why the Marines are trained. That's why the Army is trained in a certain way. You almost trained yourself in that way through the world. So you're no longer relying on fear. You're not relying on being hard on yourself to motivate yourself to move forward. There's this gentleness and this beautiful, this gorgeousness that's coming in, and this sort of breath of fresh air where you're not constantly looking over your shoulder going, all right, how can I make myself feel bad today? I mean, God love you, pal 3. It's not, you just don't need to do it, you know. And some of you, and again, general reading, some of you compare yourself to others, and you compare yourself to people that just, why? You know, you might have a preliminary aspect. There might be a few things in common in a really sort of a really sort of like incidental way, but then you'll go ahead and you'll keep comparing yourself, and you don't even want what they want, but you'll still do it. You know, a lot of this is fusing a new way on how you work with yourself. Again, not being in control, but being in alignment, working with your energy, pure self-acceptance, and not looking back on your life and being hard on yourself. Why did I do it? Why did I do it? Well, we've told you why you did it, but now you've done that. You've put yourself through all of those situations now, right? You're no longer having to learn through being motivated through fear, being motivated through being hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. Let the past go and be proud of yourself. You did actually have a motive for staying in those situations longer than you would have. Okay, now we're not saying that you need to do that anymore. In fact, we've said the opposite. But there was a reason why you did it. Whether you realize it or not, there was a subconscious reason why you did it. And it made you become who you are. You no longer need to do that at all. But the way in which you will write now, the way in which you integrate that wisdom, the way in which you speak to people, the way in which you invite people in to your heart and mind is available to you now. It's in its purest form of healing because you put yourself into those situations. Now, we're not suggesting at all that that is the way to do it. That's the way you did it. That's the way you decided to do it, your soul. And we're not having any judgment whether that's right or wrong. You decided to do it, and you turned into this catalyst of absolute gorgeousness because of it. Absolutely. We're turning, the world is shifting. And there is an energy that's coming in that will be less harsh. It's already integrating into the planet. So we won't need to have to do this, learn the hard way anymore. It's almost like you had to learn, you felt like you needed to learn the hard way. Now, part of that was your bloodline. You came in with this like need to learn the hard way, and that was hardwired into who you were. But again, you've worked with all of that bloodline, you've worked with your ancestors, you've worked with all that hierarchy. That's been worked with, that's been integrated. You've moved beyond that. So that's why we originally took the rose card here, the Five of Cups, and we put it here. That's your past, present, future. Although the present and future are one fused in the same for you. So we want you to go back and look back on your life with these two cups standing up and to remind yourself of why you did this. And the way in which you can do that is really stand in your own power now. How gorgeous are you? How beautiful, how unjudgmental you are. Now, everybody gets judgmental. We're not enlightened here. Everybody has an ego, and the ego can protect us when we know how to work with it. You know, so it's just a matter of how you work with yours and seeing those two beautiful cups still full and looking back on what you've been through and how gorgeous you are and how beautiful you are and how much light you have and how much hope you have for people. You can see you're in a position now to see them compassionately for who they are. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to take on that energy, but there's a level of acceptance that's coming from you that's now projected outwards, and it's this absolute gorgeousness that people want to flock to be around. And let me tell you, it doesn't come up that often. People who have been through really, really rough goes of it are usually the people that come out on the other side, the way in which you are. You are absolutely an earth angel. So you really wanted to experience the whole spectrum of human emotion, and you wanted to go down and dirty and figure it all out and get involved and see it up close and personal. You know, even if it destroyed you, you knew you had very, very strong elements, not just with very, very powerful guides that you work with, but also family, a very powerful family members when they were alive and passed over. Some of whom you obviously knew and some of whom you didn't. Very powerful, powerful bloodline. So you knew that you wouldn't really be destroyed, but you did put yourself into positions sometimes where most people would be like, what the hell? So just understanding that that's why you're here. Please don't be hard on yourself as you look back on your life. Integrate all of that wisdom that you had from doing things the way that you did, and really accept that the way in which you did things in the past was the best for you. Now, the wisdom that you have, the truth that you have, the working with the emotionality that you have, wielding it into power, because you definitely are alchemists, taking the baseline of fear, the baseline of confusion, projection, polarity, all of that baseline stuff, and being able to use that catalyst, working with the alchemist spectrum of beauty and brightness and turning it into this pure, unadulterated love. You will know what true love is in this lifetime. You are moving into that understanding. You will know what self-acceptance looks like and feels like in this lifetime. Not only that, but you will know how it's projected out into the world and what energy it brings back. You will know true power in this world beyond the ego, beyond fear, beyond projection. You won't have to put anybody down to get to where you need to be. You will have your own, you will really set the heights for what power truly is. It's absolutely beautiful. You won't need to like negotiate. You will just be who you are. And this is something that you've not really had before, um, just being accepted for who you are. And this is something that you're working on now. So if we can give you a little background, we'll give you a little support. We want you to go back and really accept all aspects of yourself and every decision that you made. We absolutely promise you there was a reason for it. Now, this beautiful way that you're going to be wielding this sword of truth and this beautiful emotionality coming to the heights of who you are, integrated into everything. A lot of you are artists or creators. Even if you're working in the medical field, you will bring it in some way. This level of enthusiasm, this level of acceptance, this level of love without being woo-woo. You don't have that woo-woo gene in your body. You're very direct at who you are. You see through the bullshit, the BS. You'll be able to bring a very practical element of self, sort of not even purification, but self-love, and self-acceptance to people by being you. You will show others how to do this, whether you integrate it through your art, whether you're teaching, whether you learn from others, whatever it is that you do, that's what you're here to do, and it will shine on every project that you choose to take. And there will be many different directions that you go in. Even if you are like in the medical field, for instance, you'll have a sort of a spiritual sort of side job or side gig or this, that, and the other. You 2 or 3 different things going on, meld it together, multimedia, artists, definitely writing, definitely the occult, bringing back ancient magic, all sorts of different things that you'll be doing. Some of you working definitely in nature, eco situations, working in community at a community baseline and taking that out globally. But this essence of who you are becoming, and who you always were, but you were very, very busy learning and really integrating. It's almost like even though you have, even if you have a degree, you have a PhD, whatever you have, whatever you learned as on the streets, whatever you learned, you know, in the rawness of being who you are and the experiences that you had, those are really what you are going to be integrating, and those will be most beneficial for you. So please look back on those 2 cups and really understand the energy of what you went through, and really hone in on the energy that you have now. Sense your power, sense your beauty, sense your love, sense your ability to listen, sense your ability to hold space for people who are hurting. There's so many wounds out there. You can hold space for people, and you don't even need to be in and around them. You can do this from your bedroom. You can do this from the local park. You can hold space. The power and light that you have is absolutely extraordinary, and this is the power that you're coming into without any way, shape, or doubt. So the True Love reading cards, let's pull some extra oracles for you at this time. An absolute gorgeousness of beauty here, and being able to like make your way up to the top of what it is that you want to do, that success that you've been craving, not from the ego, but because you want to be out there. The more successful you are, the more you're known for what you do, the more people you can reach. So that is coming to you. That level of success is coming for you too. The distorted feminine. Again, we're going to put that on that side. We're going to come back to that in a minute. And soulmates, wonderful. Absolutely, soulmates coming in. And that's the other reading of this too. For those of you who are looking, soulmates coming in, I believe it was Pal 2 where that came up too. And also for those of you who already met your soulmate, a new level of intimacy coming in, whether you adopt or whether you choose to have children, or whether moving your relationship on in some way, whether you decide to get married, get a house, you know, if you're not into the marriage thing, totally grand. Whatever it is, moving it up in a way to solidify and take your relationship one step further. The other one is, of course, your soulmate coming in. That beautiful person who is, you know, the frequency, again, the worthy of you. Somebody who has been through hell and back to, and totally understands what that is and gives space to who you are. The distorted feminine, healing that distorted feminine also is something that you've been doing. Now that's been working. We've already mentioned that. We're just reiterating. That's something that worked in your bloodline that you went back to heal also. And as that distorted feminine, has been integrated fully, and as you're moving out of that and the divine feminine comes in, that real sense of peace of knowing who you are, not having to downplay who you are, is absolutely beautiful. And that will in order you to really look back and see everything that you've been through and be really appreciative of what you've been through too, and really give yourself a huge hug for the courage. Again, not many people would put themselves into situations that you did just to be able to see and experience all of this. And you did have an ideology, you did have an understanding, even if it felt like at the time, oh my God, why am I doing this? Your deeper knowing did know why. Now, you're never going to go through this. You're not going to have to live life like this. This is all about taking all of that knowledge, using it as a catalyst and putting it out into the world. That's where you are. And you're ready now to meet that other person. You're ready now to devote your life. And again, even if you were in a relationship, you still may have been married to them one way or another, but there's still a new level of commitment that's in your future. It doesn't matter if you're legally married or not. You can make that new level step up in that commitment in some way. Now, again, that might be shown in the physical form of having a child or making that decision, or having a family. There's many different ways to have a family, adopting, fostering, however you decide to do it. There's so many beautiful kids out in the world that need gorgeous parents out there. That's a beautiful thing to do. So however you want to do it, but either way, those are specific ideas or specific examples, but taking it to the next level of commitment. Otherwise, if you're single, the soulmate coming in, but this person coming in and around voice, a lot of them are articulate and beautiful. So, writers, journalists, been through everything, justice, working for the beauty of all, for justice for all. So yeah, the distorted feminine has been integrated. You have worked on that. You've been very aware of that. It's caused you a lot of shattering in your life. You've had to work through that in many different levels. It's been very painful for you. So we're going to bring in Archangel Michael. Up to you whether you take the healing. Please always listen to your intuition, but just sending you a little extra love. We got the sassy girls, we got that energy too, but we're going to bring in angelic angels too. Again, Archangel Michael, just to put a blanket of beauty around you and give you that extra hug right now for everything, and that extra appreciation for everything that you've been through, in order to come out of this beautiful, just got this real clear vision of this caterpillar, you coming into this butterfly, this gorgeous butterfly. Oh my goodness, it's so stupid. I didn't even see this. I saw the soulmates and I saw red, absolute butterfly. I swear to you, I didn't see that. Soulmates coming in, the butterfly period of your life. So absolutely gorgeousness. Now, butterfly could not have happened without the catalyst part here. So again, Rose still has those two cups. They're standing up and they've still got some wisdom for you. So when you look back, do not be hard on yourself. It's all about that self-acceptance. Let's do the super attractor here. Yes, in stillness I receive. Absolutely. Connecting to your inner self, connecting to that divine love, connecting again back into the alignment, not control, connecting with the universe. What's next, universe? Who's next for me? Who are these people coming in? Where is my love coming from? When are they coming in? I'm ready. Absolutely declare to the universe, I am ready. It works because you are ready. Absolutely. Just, really turn down the dial of your mind if it keeps going back to, I don't know why. You do know why. You do know why. And, really, we're wrapping you up in a huge blanket now and thanking you for all the work that you've done, and all the courage that you had and all this beauty. Integrate that and really come from this loving source. The person that this butterfly version of you is absolutely supremely gorgeous, and it's also the person that you always set up to be. So that stillness and that peace that you've been longing for, that you've had, you've stepped into, but you've not been able to consistently keep it, that's coming in and around your life now. The way in which you work in the world would be completely different. Let's end with a chakra love here. We got a chakra love card, getting you your last. This one kind of came out. Let's see what we have. Grounding. Seek your roots. Sink your roots deep. Connect them to the heart of the earth. Root chakra. Absolutely. You'll be healing. Been working with that with your ancestors too. A lot of energy, especially with Archangel Michael, grounding you now, first and second chakra particularly. Clearing out the old, that's where the distorted feminine, and that's where being hard on yourself, and a little bit of fear that some of these situations will come back to haunt you, or you'll never quite be that person that you want to be. Any of those doubts that may have existed, and they weren't really integrated into your first and second chakra, but they're being swept away now, just getting the thing. So if they're swept away, then there's no deep scrubbing. You've done all of the work. So remember to ground yourself, stillness in that energy, meditation, great for you. And you know, if that chatter in your mind is still really strong when you meditate, don't be hard on yourself, because that chatter is actually pulling in and making sense of certain things that are coming up. So even if you're not able to completely clear your mind when you meditate, this is a trick for you, pile 3. As you know, if you start meditating, you decide to, or you decide to do meditations after this reading, now after you know what you know, all of the stuff that's coming up in that time that you've allotted for the meditation, it will be making, it will be putting all the everything together, everything that you need to know. And sort of being able to tie the bow and be able to leave it alone and walk away from it. So even if you're not in a position where you can completely cleanse your mind, that's fine. Everything that's coming up, your neurons are firing in a way so you can really make sense of everything and let it go. So even if your meditations right now are doing that and not clearing your mind per se, they're still going to work for you. So feel free to go ahead and do that. Remember, stillness, grounding, the soulmates coming in, this new person coming in. If you're already in a relationship, building that to a next level. The next level that you choose to do will be quite significant now. So whether it's a physical, we're going to get married, it'll be quite significant. Buy a house, even if it's on the spiritual level, it'll be quite significant. But having that power for you, and having that power and having that other person that truly deserves you coming into your life one way or another. So this is what we have for you, pile 3. Beautiful, powerful, coming into that butterfly gorgeousness of who you are. So we sincerely hope that gave you a little bit of support, gave you a little bit of healing. We want to thank Archangel Michael for coming in. And of course, our sassy ladies. If this resonated with you, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. And do not forget to let us know what golden girl you think you are, your favorite golden girl, or if the combination of 2 or more golden, maybe all of them. Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. There's so much going on at Unicorn Light Tarot. We would love for you not to miss out on it. We do have the Unicorn School of Light. Right now we have a free course. It is Beyond Fear. It's a 3-day course. If you feel like you might need that for a little extra support and grounding, go ahead and check that out. We do have the 21 days working with the Magical Unicorn. Had a couple people sign up for that last week. Wonderful stuff. We also have the Facebook group too for anything and all magical unicorns. So come and join us there. And of course we have unicorn therapy, lots of meditations. If you wanted to go back and do the star meditation and the earth star meditation, and then the root chakra meditation for you, unicorn therapy, pile 3, if your intuition tells you that's what you should be doing, that could be great help for you. That's clearing out, support, activation of those chakras to help you strengthen that as you clear out and move into that beautiful butterfly energy. Lots of ways to work with us and get some extra support here at Unicorn Light Tarot. All right, my darlings, go be you. Stay safe and sane until we meet again. Bye-bye.